God did.
It's Chief. Empire. What's good? Toxic gang. What's happening? We back. Buenos dias. Good day. Today we smoking on Factory Smokes. Premium handmade from Drew Estates. Shout out Drew Estates, man. This is a sleeper. A sleeper people not gonna be smoking, people not gonna be reviewing. But it's a cigar shop I go to that's not the one I showed you the other time. And I'm interviewing the owner. Just talked to him today. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, he a little hesitant because he's a camera shy guy. But I told him sleep on it and he gonna be on this motherfucker, I guarantee it. No free promo. But as soon as we set it up, line it up, make it official, he's here. Believe me when I say that. How y'all been, Empire? Toxic gang, how y'all been? I really want to know. Drop it in the comments how y'all been. You know, I fuck with y'all. You know, I'm producing this content for y'all, right? When you a leader, indirectly you serve your followers, directly and indirectly. And you're not following the wrong guy. Let's make that clear. The ultimate leader wants his followers to become better than him and eventually lead their own squadron. And that's a fucking fact. Shout out to Andrew Tate, man. Shout out to Andrew Tate, man. Shout out to the Morpheus of the real world, right? He's doing what he's doing because he wants to produce a Neo. He wants to help develop a Neo. He's looking for the next Neo. Is that gonna be you? You gonna let Aiden Ross be the next Neo? Or are you gonna claim your title of Neo, the savior? This might have to be a Rumble exclusive. This might just have to be a Rumble exclusive just because of that, man. The bigger you get, the more strategic things have to be. I'll never lie and tell y'all that I'm there already. I'm not at the epitome of my success. I'm not even close. I'm just on a straight incline. I'm on a motherfucking incline. Facts. Excuse the background noise, man. I'm on an incline. And one thing I'll tell you about the incline is that's the hardest part. It's odd because although I may not be wealthy yet, I'm experiencing the byproduct of wealth, right? I'm experiencing growing pains. You ever heard when you going through puberty, right? It's people that grow so fast that they got marks on their body or they're a little uncoordinated because they're going through growing pains. They got to get used to their new physique. Man, I'm cold than a bitch for that. I'm cold for that. You see the correlation between what I just said? Growing pains? Although I'm not wealthy yet, I'm experiencing the growing pains. Some of the growing pains would be a lack of time for people who think they deserve most of your time. Family, friends, girls. That's a part of it. That's a growing pain. Women starting to bet on you like you a racehorse. That's part of growing pains, right? Women bet on men. Shout out to Jay Waller. Women bet on men. They bet on the most. They bet on the best prospect. You feel me? They try to see who has the most talent, who's developing that talent at a great rate, and they'll bet on that person, that horse, that individual, that being. They'll let you smash. They'll give you great treatment in the hopes that you become what you're destined to become. I don't blame them for that. I salute them. Family, I want you to remember this. The women that stick with you when you're down, as long as they're continuing to stick with you while you're rising, do not take those women for granted. Of course, those women still have to prove to you that they're your woman, that they're right for you. That never stops. But they do get a one-up on the women that come later, past the finish line. They do. We can't neglect those women, man. That's a fucking shame. No, we're not changing on the ones that's been riding for us since the beginning. Hell no. This Factory Smokes Drew Estate is a very affordable cigar and it's smoking. Man, salute to Drew Estates, man. This shit's smoking. Fuck. That Perdomo Lot 23, it's official and all, but it ain't smoking like the Drew Estates. Probably because it wasn't as moist as this Drew Estates, but salute to Drew Estates for this one, man. Y'all got my vote over Perdomo Lot 23. Funny thing, man. Well, before I go into it, I'm drinking on some sparkling water. Not sparkling, it's mineral water. Sparkling natural mineral water. I call it rich folks water, man. Get you some. Get you some. I don't drink, I don't smoke weed. Only on special occasions, and I have written down in my goals what those special occasions are. So once I hit certain milestones, I'll smoke some and drink some. But until then, I ain't touching that, bro. I'm a smoker at heart, as you know, Cigar Talks. One thing I realize is that weed and drink, it throws you off of your goals, man. It does for me. Some of y'all say y'all can, other people say they can. Shout out to Snoop, Wiz, and all them. But they already successful. They can smoke every day. They already successful. Hopefully they still climbing new mountains. But they already there, bro. I'm not there. I had to really internalize the fact that although it looks cool to smoke and drink all the time, I'm not at the level where I can afford to do that all the time and I won't take a hit. How am I gonna climb Mount Everest while I'm down in fifths of liquor and smoking backwoods? I'm gonna be exhausted. I'm not gonna have the conditioning to be able to climb Mount Everest. It's the beauty of being focused on your goals and being sober at the same time. It makes reality hit different. You seeing it from a sober mind. You realizing what's really going on around you. I enjoy sober life, man. It got to a point when I was smoking that I forgot what it was to be sober. That's an interesting paradigm to have when you forget how it is sober life. We gotta face the facts that when we high and when we drunk, we not. When we high and when we drunk, we just can't do the things we could do when we sober because we're in a different energy. Just like when you're in a poverty mindset, you can't do what people who are in an abundance mindset, a wealth mindset can do. It's just because the energy is different. Each energy comes with its own positives and negatives. Smoking and drinking has its negatives, but it also has its positives. I get some of my most thought-provoking thoughts when I'm high or when I'm drunk. I get some of my most thought-provoking thoughts when I'm sober. I'm up early, achieving my goals, working out. And thoughts come to my mind, very thought-provoking thoughts. So it's positives and negatives to both. When I'm sober, I think a lot in logic, and I don't make a lot of emotional decisions when I'm sober. I don't drunk text hoes. I don't get high and want to chill with people that don't have my best interest, right? Positives and negatives, man. I'm a lot more calculated when I'm sober. I'm a lot more calculated and I'm a lot colder when I'm sober. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. I told my sister I don't fuck with her recently, sober. Looked her in her eyes and told her I'm not fucking with her. Of course she felt some type of way, walked away, tears in her eyes. But I'm not taking that back and I don't feel no type of way, man. That was logical, calculated, and I meant what the fuck I said. I mean it. And it's tough, man. It's tough to tell people that think that they need. It's tough to tell people that society would say they need to be in your life that you don't want them in your life. It's tough. But when you do it, it puts you on a different level. It makes you greater. It makes you more valuable in their eyes because they know you're somebody that will tell the truth at all times. Man. I've been listening to the audiobook Artist Seduction by Robert Greene. I love that. I love that book, dog. I love that shit. I actually put the Art of Seduction over Rollo Tomasi's book. I don't want to butcher the name of it, man. The Rational Male. I put it over The Rational Male. I put it over, what's that other book? Cold book too. Not only is it The Rational Male, it's another book. What's it called? As a Man Thinketh. I put it over As a Man Thinketh. I really put it over all the masculine red pill books that most red pill creators will tell you to read. I put The Art of Seduction over all those books. Because The Art of Seduction isn't necessarily targeting masculine or feminine. It's just talking about the art of seduction, which of course originated from feminine beings. Feminine beings lack of physical authority in this world, so they had to go to psychological warfare. And it's deep, bro. It's deep. It makes you appreciate the feminine, and it also shows that masculine beings can implement some feminine tactics in order to take over the world. Some of the greatest leaders use seduction in order to seduce the masses to do what they wanted them to do. Force isn't always the best tactic. Because with force comes its own positives and negatives. That was my brother who just popped in for a second. But yeah, man, there's more tactics in this world you need to utilize. I gotta relate it back to chess, dog. Strategy. Your queen piece has to rely on seduction. That's why she can go to anywhere on the board. The queen can seduce masses. The queen can seduce other kings. The queen can seduce other empires. I'm not gonna go into all the arts of seduction, but the two that stick out to me, the two types of seducers that stick out to me a lot, that relate to me a lot, is the star. That's the 9th type of seducer. And then the 8th type of seducer, which is the charismatic. The star has an ethereal type of energy. The star walks into a room and captivates the room without speaking. The star has a certain kind of energy to it, which makes it be labeled as a star, right? Stars shine in the midst of the darkness of the sky. Charismatics have a deep primal confidence that exudes from them, a fearlessness that exudes from charismatics. And it all stems from self-awareness. If you're self-aware, you have confidence and charisma. That's the key, y'all. People make videos about how to be charismatic, and they tell you everything but what you really need to know. And really, the key to being charismatic is self-awareness. It's easy to have charisma and confidence when you know who you are. I'm a star and I'm charismatic. One thing I really want to talk to y'all about when it comes to the art of seduction is the hot and cold method. You may see a woman that you want to seduce, a victim. We call them victims because that's the terminology used in the book. You see a victim and you want to seduce the victim. You start off a little warm, a little hot, a little warm, right? Introduce yourself. Small conversation, right? With a little sexual energy in there, but nothing overbearing. And then you just cut it off cold turkey, right? End the conversation and you don't focus on that individual anymore. The hot and cold method. Right? One day you're giving attention, the next day you're talking to another female in front of her. That is so powerful, man. The hot and cold method. And that leads me into the next method. Having a harem. Your harem doesn't have to consist of only women. Your harem can consist of friends, acquaintances, social proof, status, right? That could consist of you. I'll give an example, right? In one of my classes, it's a chick that's bad. I'm not even gonna say bad. She's the best looking, she's the most interesting woman in the class, right? As soon as I walked in on the first day, you know how you can feel people staring at you? You know, you could feel the energy of people just focused on you. As soon as I walked in, she was the first one I made eye contact with because the energy was so strong, the eye contact was so strong. Light-skinned chick, curly afro, slim and petite, like my type for sure. Made eye contact with her immediately, man, and I knew for a fact she want me. She gave me the look like, boy, you better come say something to me. She gave me the look like, boy, these legs is wide open for you. I walked right over there and sat right by her the first day. Hot, right? Made eye contact, hot. I got the energy, hot. Walked there, sat by her, hot. Didn't say shit to her that whole first class. Cold. You know, the way we set it up is she was sitting to my left, the teacher is behind me, so I have to turn and look at the teacher. Every time I turn and he speak, I could feel her looking at me. You know what I'm saying? You know, she could always use an excuse, she trying to listen to the teacher, but I just so happen to be right in front of her where the teacher is. So she would be staring at me. I felt this thing. Still didn't say nothing that first class period. The next week I had class. I went up, I sat down, didn't say shit. 15 minutes in, I just turned to her, looked her in her soul and said, listen, I would be mad at myself if I didn't introduce myself. Held my hand out. See, when I put my hand out for women, I don't shake their hand like men, because they're not men. I do my hand like this. And I want her to just set her hand on top of mine. You know, you could rub it if you want to, you could just hold it firm. But it's something primal about that. A woman just doing that on your hand. It's like, it's a primal signal, man. It's like her opening the doorway for you. Her submitting to you in a way. Setting her hand on top of yours, looking into your eyes. This is all primal. This is all charisma. This is all sexual tension. It's building sexual tension. I did that. She told me her name. We chopped it up for a little bit. Found out she from Texas, just like me. Found out she done been to my city, Dallas. And we had a little conversation, man. And then I cut it off and started focusing on what I need to be focusing on, the class, right? I'm there for a purpose. My purpose comes first. We had a little break in class and I talked to her again during the break. And this is the next thing about seducing. You plant seeds. Planting seeds is powerful, man. I told her, I asked her about something I needed help with. She didn't know what to do. And I smiled, I looked at her and I was like, what if I need to rely on you? Can I rely on you, man? I planted that seed, right? It's small, right? You looking at it like, okay, rely on you, blah, 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 whatever. You just needed help. But I planted a seed. In her mind, she's going to think about the few conversations we had. And one thing I asked her is, if I need to rely on you, can I rely on you? Now she's going to think about, wow, I want to be there for him when he needs me. One thing he asked me is being able to rely. Maybe he just wants somebody that he can rely on. You see these seeds that you plant and you let the seed sprout in your victim's mind. I use victim because that's the terminology used in the art of seduction. That seed will cultivate and do a lot of the work for me that I will no longer have to do. she'll think about catering to me because I planted that seed. Man, I done spit a lot of game for y'all, man. Go to my Rumble, Chief ATN on Rumble. Y'all subscribe to me on there, man, and y'all watch these videos. I'm gonna start cutting them a little short for the tube because Rumble is the next wave. YouTube is always trying to censor people. Big tech is always trying to censor people. So we're gonna go to Rumble a lot, right? We're gonna cut some of these shorts and we're gonna really expand on these topics on Rumble. Rumble.com/ChiefATN. Peace, love, prosperity. 999, all love. Me llamo Jefe. Hasta luego, mi familia.
It really fucking breaks my heart that there's people out there that don't believe in us. Speedy, they don't believe in us. God did.